Here we are again. Blazor Puzzle 85. I'm Carl Franklin from AppVNext. That's Jeff Fritz from Microsoft. Hey, Jeff.
I'll do. Good to see you, Carl.
Good to see you. Still hot.
Oh my gosh. So hot. And you know what? The grass is growing like weeds.
Yeah.
It's turned into
the weeds are growing like weeds too.
Yeah.
It's nuts. I was actually cooking a brisket outside today, so just
I'll
nasty.
be right over.
Well, there's that. The end product is good. All right. This is you've been busy, haven't you?
I have been busy. I've been trying some new things with Blazor, and I ran into an interesting conundrum that I wanted to solve, and I want to show you a little bit about that.
All right. So let's roll the video, and we'll be right back with the problem, the challenge. Here we go.
All right, so I want to add a little bit of voice control, a little bit of voice recognition into my Blazor app. And I don't want to use so much the Windows interactions and the Windows accessibility things. I want part of my app to be able to respond and do different things based on what it hears, right? I love talking to Siri and Alexa. I just don't like when they talk back to me, but I like telling them to turn the lights on, to play music, remind me to do this, and so on and so forth. How can I get that into my Blazor application?
Okay. So you're actually starting with the solution because the problem or the challenge project doesn't really have anything in it. It's just a Blazor app.
It's just the base template. I'm using global server interactivity. You can also do this with WebAssembly. It works the same way. And you can even do it with the server-side rendering if you wanted.
Now, here's just a question before we start. I've done a lot of voice recognition over the years. The cream of the crop seems to, for me anyway, seems to be the Azure Cognitive Services speech recognition. Are you using any of that?
None of that. This is all going to stay local on your machine.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right. I guess you're going to start with a demo, right?
We can start with a demo. Sure.
All right.
So
I see you have a start button up there.
Yeah. Let's dive into this a little bit. So I've already got a library wired up and capabilities here. So let me show you what I added into this, and then we'll go unpack and show you how it all works.
Okay.
So I added a start button into the main layout so that it's on every page, but I can click it and activate my microphone. And now I can tell it to do different things. Go to counter. Go to weather.
Very good.
Go to counter. And I've wired up a couple of other things in here so that it can actually take commands and do things inside the page.
I noticed that you don't care about talking while it's listening because it's obviously got a grammar that's pretty narrow focused, right?
You know what? I went very simple with this and told it to just listen for certain words and then go ahead and process. You may want to set up some sort of a keyword, some sort of trigger word to start off, and then the rest of that sentence is what we're going to capture and analyze.
Okay.
So this is a very simple example.
Yeah.
But I can tell the counter to increment.
Okay.
And increment. And decrement. And so it's responding to simple commands and doing those methods that we have in Blazor.
Yeah.
Very easy stuff.
Good.
But let's go to that last one. Go to contact.
Oh, okay.
So I've got a simple contact info page that you might use, and you want to make this a little bit more accessible for folks to be able to key in some of these fields.
Right.
So I can start dictating some of the entries for these, and it will just start filling them in.
Great.
So set name, Jeff Fritz. Set email, Blazor Puzzle at appvnext.com.
Close. Not bad.
Not bad. I mean, it's interpreting. Set phone number 555-1234.
Good.
So you see, it's doing basic things. We could certainly make it more robust, but
Right.
I'm interacting with strings, and I've got a bunch of simple if-then statements set up to interpret and make decisions about what to do here. Let me show you a couple of the pieces here that make this really easy to work with. I'm going to go over to Visual Studio Code. There's a couple packages out there that wrap a JavaScript API, a speech recognition API that's available inside most browsers. But this one I like to use has a very easy API to work with, blazor.speechrecognition.
Yeah.
And once that's registered, I can then go and add a speech recognition service inside Program CS.
Nice.
I also set up a voice service so that I can listen and process and raise events to various pages that want to listen for when there's voice recognition events.
I see. So the speech recognition services is the low-level stuff, and voice services is the app-level stuff.
Exactly. This is my state bag that's raising events for the various pages that want to increment and decrement the counter, fill in things on the counter. So I set up here, I'm receiving the navigation manager. I have an on-speech recognized event that we're wiring up, handled navigation. And there you see where I was dictating go to or navigate to or open. And if it finds home or contact, it's just doing navigate to. Very simple. It's easy for you out there. If you want to customize, extend, and make this more robust, go for it.
Great.
So, and then recognize speech. I put the actual speech recognition services on the layout, the microphone button up at the top. So up here, there's my button. And I put an emote there so that it starts stop and you get the little indicator of whether it's listening or not. And it calls toggle microphone. If we go down there, you see it reaches into the speech recognition service. If it's currently active, cancel it. That's easy. Yeah. Dispose of everything. And if it needs to be activated, it starts recognizing speech, passes into culture, and then I have a series of event handlers for the various things that may happen during the speech recognition process. Okay. We've recognized text. There's an error when we start and when we end.
Wow, that's easy.
Yeah.
So this is built into browsers, you said. Is it built into, you said almost all browsers. What's the story with that?
All. So if we go over to Can I Use, on the caniuse.com page for speech-recognition, you'll see here the map of the browsers that are supported. Now, the yellow blocks are mostly supported, and the red blocks not supported, but you'll see there's some footnotes on some of them. I was using Edge, and you notice that Edge is in red here. There's some eventing APIs that the browser specification is supposed to support, but Edge and Opera don't quite support them yet. However, as you saw, worked just fine for me to speak and dictate and get those values coming back.
And yeah, you were getting the events from the tool, the Blazor speech recognition tool, but and I guess it was getting the events from JavaScript. So it's just some events that you're not using.
Yeah, and for a simple interaction with an application, that's good enough, right? That meets our needs here. And of course, we've got much fuller capabilities inside of the Chrome browsers.
Yeah. So, and also mobile browsers, it looks good.
Yep.
Safari on iOS. What's the top one there? 3.2. Does that just mean the 3.2 to 14.4? Yeah, the old Safari browsers aren't supported.
Yeah, the ones that are pretty much out of support from Apple.
Got it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
So
that's pretty simple.
Right? I love having these next level interactions with our applications that allow us to break out of just the standard forms over data interactions that we have.
Very good. Anything else you want to say before we wrap it up?
I do like pizza.
Okay.
I think that's about it for now.
And you do live in Philadelphia, so somebody could theoretically send you a pizza.
Or a cheesesteak, yes.
Or a cheesesteak. Pat's or Geno's? Or is there's another one too now?
There's several, yes. Yeah. There's one that's actually in Camden that is very well recognized as one of the best ones in the area, and it's called Donkeys.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's it for this week. And if you've got a puzzle that you want to send us, or whether or not you have a solution to it, send it to us at blazorpuzzle@appthenext.com. And if we use it on the show, we'll send you a Blazor Puzzle mug. How about that? We'll call you out on the show. Thanks, guys. We'll see you next week.
Take care.
Bye.
Thanks for watching. Make sure to check out blazortrain.com and the .NETshow.com for more great content.